Coming up, a new batch of COVID-19 vaccines are being restricted to Sept population.
The lower the vaccination rates that we see in our communities, the more chance there is for the virus to mutate and turn into potentially deadlier or at least worse varieties of COVID.
Plus, a volleyball player has returned to the court in a new position since graduating last spring. KVAQ Sports with more in minutes.
And a new app is helping Brownsville residents track mosquitoes in the area.
KVAQ-TV starts now. Good morning, vaqueros. I'm Dayton Trevino.
And I'm Desiree Villanueva. Today is Monday, September 22nd, and this is the fourth fall edition of KVAQ-TV.
Let's start things off with our top story.
The Food and Drug Administration approved of a new batch of COVID-19 vaccines, now with restrictions significantly lowering those who are eligible. Can you get a 2025-2026 COVID vaccine? Jasmine Espinosa with the story.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has limited the new COVID-19 vaccines to individuals 65 and older or people who have at least one underlying health condition that puts them at an increased risk. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, some health conditions include, but are not limited to, cancer, chronic kidney disease, chronic liver disease, asthma, dementia, Parkinson's disease, and diabetes. UTRGV Health Sciences Master's Program Professor Russell Wendt says restricting the COVID-19 vaccine can create a problem for individuals with comorbidity, which is two pre-existing diseases or conditions in a person at the same time.
It did say that those with pre-existing conditions will help those under age 65 meet criteria for COVID vaccination. However, the problem is we have a country full of people with comorbid conditions. Oftentimes they're undiagnosed, and the fact is those can be risk factors, for example, hypertension or obesity or diabetes, and we do have a large number of people under age 65 currently undiagnosed for that.
According to a May 20th article published in the New England Journal of Medicine by FDA leaders, the administration limited the shots because studies show how the vaccines benefit older adults and people with health conditions, while healthy younger people show little added protection. Wendt says lowering the vaccination rates may increase cases of COVID-19 within the communities.
So the other thing is the lower the vaccination rates that we see in our communities, the more chance there is for the virus to mutate and turn into potentially deadlier or at least worse varieties of COVID. So I think it's important that we try to maintain as high a rate of vaccination as we can to prevent those kinds of risks.
Vaccine availability can vary in places such as Walgreens or your local pharmacies.
A local organization formed a domestic violence high-risk team in Hidalgo County.
So it's continuing to fight the good fight, right? To bring an end to domestic violence so people could live free from fear, free from abuse and oppression.
Mujeres Unidas has teamed up with the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office, the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, and the Weslaco Police Department to form the Domestic Violence High-Risk Team. Community Education Program Coordinator at Mujeres Unidas, Genesis Gonzalez, said the team was formed to improve safety for clients.
So the high-risk team is several organizations, several entities working together to try to figure out what's happening in specific cases so we could improve responses, we could improve safety for clients, what are red flags that we need to be aware of, kind of like going into deep, doing a deep investigation of all these cases and what they have similar and how they're able to improve services overall for clients and how we could end violence.
Mujeres Unidas is a nonprofit organization based in McAllen whose purpose is to provide a safe space for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. Gonzalez shares a variety of services the organization provides.
We provide support services and shelter to victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, like legal counseling, the Men Against Violence program, the Rape Crisis Center, legal advocacy, which they're not lawyers, but they do help help clients understand the process of the courts, the rights, legal options.
Founded in 1978 by a group of volunteers, Mujeres Unidas was based in Far and only had a 2-bedroom shelter. The current shelter being utilized was built in 1988 at an undisclosed location and can hold up to 45 beds. According to Gonzalez, Mujeres Unidas is the only shelter specifically for victims of domestic abuse and survivors of sexual assault in Hidalgo County.
So just to keep in mind that they're not alone, we are here to help them in any way we can. There's many organizations that we work with that we want to be able to provide these services to them and help them get out of their difficult situation. Just to understand that we're here to try to empower them and provide any services that we can in any way we can.
To contact Mujeres Unidas, visit one of its locations at 511 North Cynthia Street or 420 North 21st Street in McAllen. The main building's phone number is 956-630-4878. To contact their satellite center is 956-664-2826. For operating times, visit the Mujeres Unidas website.
La FDA sacó un comunicado de prensa a principios de este mes sobre nuevas reformas para compartir anuncios farmacéuticos engañosos directos a los consumidores. KVAQ-TV habló con una experta en marketing para saber más sobre la publicidad falsa.
En el comunicado, el secretario de Salud y Servicios Humanos, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., dice que los anuncios farmacéuticos engañosos han creado un problema de adicción en el país. Según leyes federales, los anuncios deben ser verídicos y, cuando es apropiado, ser respaldados por evidencia científica.
Porque la tecnología hoy está avanzando mucho y todos tenemos derecho a saber lo que estamos consumiendo, ¿verdad?
De acuerdo con un estudio del Journal of Pharmaceutical Health Services Research, el 100% de publicaciones farmacéuticas en redes sociales resaltan los efectos positivos de medicamentos. Al contrario, solo el 33% contiene advertencias de los posibles efectos secundarios. La FDA señala que este tipo de contenido ha confundido a los consumidores al nublar la línea entre publicidad y hallazgos científicos. Profesora asistente de marketing, Carla Cantú, dice que recomienda a los compradores consultar con un médico antes de tomar una decisión basada en un anuncio.
Una de mis opciones es preguntar a tu doctor, entonces yo recomiendo no creer en la publicidad rápida y siempre pregunta segundas opciones.
Estudiante de tercer año de marketing, Nisa de la Fuente, dice que la prioridad de las marcas debería ser garantizar la seguridad de los clientes al ser honestas.
El enfoque de hacer publicidad y todo es que te compren, ¿no? Pero sí creo que la transparencia es lo primordial y la honestidad.
La FDA dice que empezará a usar nuevas herramientas como la inteligencia artificial para asegurarse que nuevos anuncios estén de acuerdo con las normas. Para KVAQ-TV en Brownsville, Víctor Ortega.
Paris Key has returned to the UTRGV volleyball team as a graduate assistant coach after graduating in the spring. Victor Ortega has the story and more on KVAQ Sports.
Former standout UTRGV volleyball player Paris Key has traded in her jersey for a whistle, returning to the court as a graduate assistant coach. After spending 4 years playing for the UTRGV volleyball team, Paris says the new position is exciting.
Well, I love it. I love the coaching staff, I love the players, and I just love the atmosphere here. So when I was picking if I was going to stay or not, it wasn't super hard.
The transition from player to coach has been smooth for Key. She spent the spring with the team preparing herself for the new role. And while she can no longer play alongside the Vaqueros, Key says her coaching style reflects the same tough love her coaches once showed her.
Transition hasn't been too hard. I was with the girls this spring, so I got to kind of adjust then. So it hasn't been a super hard transition, but definitely super exciting to still be here.
She says her unique perspective as a recent player is making it easy to relate to the athletes, many of whom were her teammates last year. Although balancing friendship and leadership has been a learning curve, he says the respect is mutual.
Oh, it's kind of hard, just because sometimes I do think that they look at me more like a friend. So just trying to keep the balance between the two, but the girls are pretty easy and they listen really well, so it's been easy.
He says that staying at UTRGV was an easy choice since the program feels like home. Now as she learns the basic of coaching, she hopes this graduate assistant role will be the start of a long coaching career. From player to coach, he is showing her passion for volleyball isn't ending anytime soon.
The Vaqueros completed their last non-conference game with a 61-13 victory. Next, UTRGV opens Southland Conference play this Saturday, September 27th at 6 p.m. on the road against Southeastern. UTRGV volleyball had a strong weekend at the Erie National Insurance Invitational. The Vaqueros swept William and Mary on Saturday. then followed up with another sweep on Sunday against Delaware State, winning 6 straight sets to close out the tournament. On the soccer fields, men's soccer played tough, earning a scoreless draw against that nationally ranked Lindenwood at home. Women's soccer, meanwhile, fell 1-0 to Southeastern in conference play. And in women's tennis, the Vaqueros picked up 2 singles wins to wrap up competition at the Rice Invitational in Houston. That's a quick look at KVAQ Sports. I'm Victor Ortega.
The man shot an officer involved shooting last Tuesday at an Edinburgh Stripes. He is currently in stable condition, according to City PD. Alec Rodriguez with more.
The officers on the scene sought 33-year-old Justin Lee Garza as he attempted to dash into the Stripes with 2 knives on hand, leaving him hospitalized. Edinburgh Police Chief Jaime Ayala says Garza was walking through the area erratically and had failed to abide by the officers' attempt to de-escalate the situation.
Our officers engaged Mr. Garza as people who were getting gas became concerned, and some actually got back into their cars, giving verbal commands and trying to de-escalate the situation. At that moment of him entering into the store, our officer engaged, discharging 1 round at Mr. Garza, stopping his further movements and threat.
Estefian Santos was in traffic when she witnessed Garza heading towards the Stripes.
I was on that side of the traffic, and I saw a man running towards the store, wearing a white shirt and tattooed with a weapon in his hand. The man kept attacking, and upon not complying with the officers, they start rivaling, and that's when the shooting started.
This is not the first time Garza has shown erratic behavior. Ayala says Garza has had multiple encounters with Edinburgh PD. Most notably on June 9th, Garza had trespassed on top of a roof, staying there for hours until PD de-escalated the situation and took him into custody. Ayala says Edinburgh PD's mental health crisis unit had offered Garza's resources and assistance the day before the incident had occurred, which Garza declined.
Entering the fall season, Brownsville residents can now get rid of mosquitoes with just a phone tap away.
The City of Brownsville's Health, Wellness, and Animal Services Department's Vector Control Team launched the Brownsville Mosquito Notices app that allows users to track spraying sessions across the city. According to the city medical entomologist Yaciri Gonzalez, Brownsville Mosquito Notices allows users to report sites of high-volume mosquito activity by inputting the location into the app.
We're going to make sure that there's solid evidence of mosquito activity, and also making sure that we have the actual vectors out there, because that is our primary goal, is reducing the number of vectors, which is an organism that can transmit a disease in our environment.
Users can also find a spray map of the areas that have been recently treated. If the outline of the spray map is in green, that area has been treated for adulticiding, which is the use of pesticides to kill adult mosquitoes, or larviciding. If the outline is in black, this means the area has not been scheduled for treatment yet. Users could also receive notifications based on the spray treatments, adulticiding, and larviciding if they are subscribed to the app. Gonzalez says the app might receive updates in the near future.
Thanks for watching, Vaqueros.
Make sure to catch our next newscast at 8:30 a.m. Monday, September 29th on VCast monitors and select social medias.
For KVAQ-TV, I'm Dayton Tervino.
And I'm Desiree Villanueva.
V's up.